Hi, and welcome to SimpleSquare Variation. You've just finished coding up SimpleSquare. Let's see what it looks like. Here it is. Now in this next section, we're going to take a look at the square and we're going to change it up because sometimes customers want something different in the output than what they asked for originally. So I'm going to show you how to do it. And this is called variation. And to do this, we're going to start with a grid. So in this grid, I'm going to ask my student a couple questions about the square. So in the square, there are some different values. And can you just tell me some of the values that you see that make this thing a square?
It's got 4 90-degree angles.
Okay, so the angle is 90 degrees. And tell me something else about this figure that you see.
It's blue.
So the color is blue. Good. Tell me something else.
It's got 4 sides.
Okay, the number of sides is 4. And another property?
They're all 50 pixels long.
Okay, so the length of a side is 50 pixels. And then I'm going to ask you about another property that you might not have noticed. The lines have a certain thickness or width. Do you have any idea how wide those lines are?
I don't know.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and close this, and then let's look at the code here. And in looking at the code, can you tell me which line of code sets the angle?
Line 16.
Great. Okay, so when we're thinking about the angle, it's 90 degrees. But if we want to change it up, what we want to do is we want to set this up so the computer can do the math for us. If we're spinning in a circle, how many times do we have 90 degrees if we spin in a circle?
Well, a circle is 360 degrees, so that's 4 times.
And you're really good at math, but one of the things we learned early on in our course is that effective programmers are lazy. So we're going to let the computer do the math here, and we're going to replace this with 360 divided by 4. Now after I do this and run it, what do you think I'll see?
Well, probably the same thing.
Let's check it out. Yep, that worked. Great. Okay, so what we needed to do is we needed to just expose the math here, and we'll see how that works as we're continuing on here. Now, the next line that we want to look at is what line of code sets the color to blue?
Line 14.
Great. So we see here we've got the colors object, so we could go ahead and change this up if we needed to. So we're just going to say nothing here. All right. Now, which line or lines of code set the number of sides? Where do you see the number 4?
Well, there's a 4 on line 12 in the for loop, and there's a 4 on line 16 in the 360 divided by 4.
Okay, so we're going to do something new here. We're going to highlight one of the 4s, and then we're going to right click, and then we're going to say Refactor, and we're going to say
Extract local variable.
Great, and we're going to call that sides and say OK. Now what changes do you see in the code?
Well, all the 4's in the code changed to sides, and there's this new line 12 that says sides equals 4.
Cool. Okay, now which line of code sets the length?
16.
Line 16, because we see the move. Okay, so we don't have to do anything here. Now the last one is a tricky one. Which line of code sets the width of the pen?
I don't know, I don't really see one.
So if we run this, the line has a width. So where does it come from? What do you think?
Maybe the computer just knows.
Yeah, it does, and that's called a default. So if it's not set, it is a default value and happens to be 2 pixels. So we're going to actually expose this default by saying tortoise, and then we're going to look under the setters, because you might remember from the earlier class that to change something you use set rather than get. And do you see anything there that has to do with the thickness of the line?
Well, there's set pen width.
Okay, so let's go ahead and set that to 2 and see if that is the default, because I think it's 2 pixels. Let's take a look. Does that look right?
It looks the same as before.
Cool. So now what we did here is we had a width of 2, and we exposed a default value by adding a line of code. So now we're going to start changing things up. So what is the first thing that you'd like to make a change to here of these values?
I think the color.
Color. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
All right, so tell me what to type.
Well, it's going to be under purples. And then let's look for purple.
And let's run that and see how it looks. Nice. Okay, so we made a simple change there. So under color, we just changed it to purple. All right. Any other color you want to try out?
Maybe like lime green or something.
Okay, is that going to be under purples?
Probably not.
So tell me what to type.
I think lime green will be in a greens.
Let's see how it looks. Okay, cool. All right, so we did color. All right, what's next? What do you want to change next?
How about the sides?
Okay, and if I want to change the sides, which line of code do I need to change?
Looks like just 12.
And let's put 3. What do you think that's going to make?
A triangle.
Cool. All right, let's do something crazy. Let's do 30. Is that okay?
A 30-eagle?
Cool. All right, let's do 12. Ooh, this is kind of fun, isn't it? So, okay, sides, we just put in a number. New number. All right, so we got it at 12. Now what do you want to change next? Oh, that automatically changed the angle, didn't it? So what should we change next? How about the length? What should we put in there?
500 million.
Well, how about we put 150? Can we compromise on that? All right, and we got 12 sides. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's kind of big. Let's make smaller. Let's see. Let's do 7 sides with 150 and see what that looks like. Okay, that's good. All right, let's do 120. All right. This is kind of fun, isn't it? Cool. All right, so that's our sides. We changed up our sides there. So in our length, so we put a new number in. All right, what about the width? Can we make it like fatter? How do we do that?
Probably make it like 20 or something.
Let's try 20. Okay, let's check it out here. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, I like that. But I want to do something else. Okay, so we added a new number for width. All right, and the angle automatically updated with the sides variable. So so that was auto update. Okay, now let's do some fancy changes. Okay, let's move over here and get some of these fancy changes. So first let's think about the color. Okay, I want to make it like multicolor. Do you know how a way to do that?
Colors.rainbows.rainbow.
Oh, I don't know if we have that. Let's look. Let's go colors dot and oh, hey, check this out. Get random color. Should we try it?
Well, yeah.
Okay, let's see how it looks. I think it's gonna look good. What do you think? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I like that. Do you like it?
So rainbow.
Okay, so we've got the so we've got the random colors. Okay, so now what do we want to do next? Let's do something really interesting with the sides. So I want to do something that's a little bit different than just putting a number here. I want to like change it up all the time. So I think there's a thing that you can use. It's called a message box. Let's see if I can find it. Message box. There it is. And where we can like put in the amount. So if we wanted to just ask the user, which one would we use here?
Ask for numerical input.
Okay, and then let's put in the string. So we have to put quotes and say, how many sides would you like? Because we like to be polite and everything. Should we check it out?
Wait, what's a string?
Oh, a string is like words versus numbers. That has quotes around it.
Neat.
Okay, let's check it out. So how many sides? All right, so how many sides do you want?
42.
42. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, it didn't meet. Oh, that's a bug. Uh-oh. What do we have to do about that? Do you know what to do?
Well, what's 360 divided by 42?
I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know. Just some number with decimal points.
Oh, decimals. Okay, so it's like not even. That's why it has that gap. Let's run that again so we can show people. Okay, so we said 42. Let's see. We got to fix our first bug here. Oh, so that's the gap, right? Okay, so what do we have to do to get to do decimals?
Well, after the 360 point, put a 0.0.
Okay, let's see if that works. All right, check it out here. And we're on 42, because we want to do the same thing again. And, oh, nice job, nice job. Okay, so that was really interesting. When we divide, we have to put the thing here to make sure that it works out. Okay, that was cool. Now, the next thing that we want to do, and let's bring this up so we can remember. So we did our angle. Okay, let's see. Let's do something interesting with the sides. So we did our message box, and then with the length. So the length is set on what line?
Line 18.
Line 18. Okay. Instead of putting 120, let's do something really crazy. Let's put this I.
100 million. Oh.
No. Let's do the I. Okay.
Well, why don't really big numbers work?
Because they'll go off the screen. Because the screen's a certain size. It's a number of pixels.
So what's the biggest number we should do?
The size of the screen, I think. So anyway, so let's go ahead and do I and see what happens. So we got I, and this is going to be like the length of it. So let's run it and see. So how many sides do you want?
42.
You like that 42, huh? I'm going to do a little smaller so we can see it. I'm going to do like 23. Let's try that. Is that okay?
All right.
Okay. Oh, that looks pretty cool. I want to do it a little bit bigger though. Let me do it again. That's like kind of a funky shape. Did you like that?
Yeah, it was sort of psychedelic-y.
Okay, so what is going on here? So the first value, let's see, what did we do there? We put I. So it's moving. How many pixels on the first value? Okay, I think it's 1. So, and then I think it goes 2, 3. Does that seem right? 4, 5? Like it's going, you know, like the 4, I plus plus. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that.
Well, wait, like how does that I even just do that, adding 1 each time?
I think it's in this for loop here. So int I equals 1, and I is the sides. So it ends at the sides, which we put in here. So that's 42. And then I plus plus, I think this is it right here. Now we can actually see that better if we made it even bigger. So let's try this out. Let's magnify it. I times 3, because that should be 3 times the amount. And let's make this width just back to like 2 so we can see it a little bit better. And let's run this, and let's say 33. Oh, that's hard to see. Let's make it a little bit wider. Let's just say 10, and then let's say 23. Okay, yeah, I can see it now. Can you see it? How it's just incrementing over time?
So what does that have to do with the I plus plus?
The I plus plus is just adding every single time. So in this case, 3, 6, 9, every time it goes through the for loop.
Oh, all right.
Cool. Okay. So I want to be like psychedelic on the width too, because I think this I is pretty fun. So I'm going to do I times, let's do 3, and then let's make this one times 2, and then let's go ahead and run this, and let's make this like 22 and see what this looks like. Oh, do you like it?
It's getting super spirally.
Yeah, super spirally. Okay, now how many times is the spiral going?
Well, it's not really a whole like circle thing. It's just sort of one curve.
One curve. Okay, what if we wanted to do like 3 curves? How would we do that?
I think maybe it's like in the angle. So maybe 360 times 3.
Oh, you're such a lazy programmer. You hate doing math and you let the computer do it. That's awesome. All right, so we should put like 23, 24, something like that. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that's kind of cool. What else should we do to make it cool?
Well, it always keeps going like to one side. You notice that, right?
Right.
Maybe like there's a way to make it go the other way.
Like backwards? I'm going to make this smaller too. I'm going to say 1.5 and 1.5, and then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, 2.5. And you want it to spiral backwards. I think I'd go negative here. What do you think? Should we try it?
Yeah, everything seems to be, you know, converging on the angle.
All right, so let's try it. Let's try negative and see if it goes backwards. And we'll go 25. Oh, I like it. Do you like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I hope you enjoyed variations as much as we did. To learn more, go to teachingkidsprogramming.org.